Hello, everyone. We are back with the man who needs no introduction, Cosmo.
What's up, everybody? It's 3 a.m. I'm playing on a laptop. This could go horribly wrong, but it won't. You all know me. I would never mess up during a run in a marathon. This is Jingle Jam. I think... Well, no, I don't think people necessarily know this one too much. But this is kind of the official sequel to Spook Jam. 20 stages made with, more... There's more oomph to those stages. And it's you got like a... It's meant to be like in a cute little calendar format. Yada yada. But we're not here to play all the stages. We're just here for one specific stage. It's going to be that beautiful LSS stage on the bottom right. Should take us a decent amount of time. I think so. I'm good to go, Cracker. I don't know if Cracker said something. Alright, I'm just gonna count down. Alright, I'm going in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright. So, LSS stage being the last stage of Jingle Jam. It's a big one, it's a huge, big surprise. Nobody saw it coming. It's a magic tower. Except it's not really a magic tower because there's no floors. So it's a magic. But yeah, it's a handful of screens and they just kind of... Let me get my cursor off here. They follow the magic tower formula. So we got enemies, you touch them, you gotta have some attack before you can fight them. There's some defense and whatnot. And I've plotted the most devious of routes to get through the game as fast as possible. And at the start of the game, it's going to be a lot of just doing a little platforming, kind of dodging stuff as much as possible, and doing basically the same encounter like 4 or 5 times in a row until we move on to the next one. So we just got the last snowman, because now we have enough defense to ignore the rest of the snowman. I'll run to our second screen. There's only like 4 screens. You're going to be seeing the same 2 or 3 screens for most of this run. Alright, we're going to take a little detour over here, picked up these keys, and make another detour for some attack. I forgot to pick up that one down there. That's one that I often forget to pick up. Yeah, we're doing a ledge here to skip the bell. We don't have to fight that bell, so... There's also a, XP system, you get some level ups, those level ups give you some stats. It's all cute and all that, and I just realized I accidentally minimized the chat somehow. What's up, chat? Alright, we're gonna start the bell now. Try to get an early hit and miss it. So we should be doing 4 damage to the bells now, perfect, so we can 3 hit the bells. So we're still in the early game, the enemies are pretty simple. We got our first bell down. I think there's only 2 bell encounters in the entire game that we do. Well, before we have enough defense to just skip them all. Alright, here's a pretty important encounter. It's the very first of these snowflakes. It's a super long encounter and I want to not get hit at all. For most of this game, I just don't... Okay, well. Pretty much for all of the game, I don't want to get hit at all. Because as it turns out, if you're trying to optimize, you're going to reach the final boss and you're not going to have a whole lot of health or defense. And so we're going to be spending a long time in the final boss, and we can only take a handful of hits at best if we're playing perfectly. So that's what we're going to try to aim for, because final boss can be a bit dastardly, devious at times. So yeah, the very first snowflake battle just takes forever. We have to go through this entire cycle twice. I missed a shot there, that's totally fine. Yeah, this is arguably one of the most important encounters in this entire speedrun, is getting this one snowflake battle right. If you mess it up, you lose a minute. Alright, there we go. No. Okay, now we're safe. Alright, and now every subsequent snowflake encounter is going to be done with 2 damage, which makes the entire shebang much, much faster. We're going to go around. We don't really want to fight that one, Snowflake. Basically, any encounter that doesn't really benefit me in some way, especially with, like, you know, attack, generally we can just leave it for later. So right now, I'm really... If there's this, like, a Snowflake that I could do, but it's not really giving me any stats to make the next Snowflake fight easier, then there's no real reason for me to do it. We're doing this one to get access to the 3rd room, so that we can, you know, keep going. Here we are, it's the 3rd room. I'm gonna take this bell right here, this is the last bell. Another hit, perfect. And now we just have enough defense so that all the bells are gone. Never mind, I forgot to save. You get to see the bell one more time. Isn't it so nice? The jingle bells. Alright, now it's probably over. Okay, now I need to go back and get some of the chocolate keys. Now we're going to take this one out, because now that we have 3 damage, we can one-cycle these snowflakes all the time, so it really... we can start taking care of them pretty nicely now. Alright, I'm going to take these chocolate keys. I call the keys chocolate, iron, candy, and star, for what it's worth. And because I just said so, they're canonical names. Alright. Gonna use the chocolate. Gonna use the chocolate. There we go. Gonna use the chocolate keys over here. This little section in the bottom left is really important. We get a lot of stats from doing it, and it also takes forever. First, we just get rid of these 2 snowflakes. Then we're going to be doing... Actually, we're going to move away from the bottom left for a little bit here. Alright, we're going to get these. We don't want to fight that just yet, because we just got a candy cane key. The iron was icicle? But I just said it was iron, so... Sorry. It was a fair shot, though. It was a fair shot. Take a little detour for those stats. Alright, so now we're doing 2 attack Ice Elemental. Ice Elemental is probably the funniest battle, because this is the first one we're doing here with 2 damage. And the next time we see it, we're going to be doing a lot more than 2 damage. We're going to get a huge attack boost pretty soon. But for now, we do have to kind of sit here for a while and just dodge these walls back and forth for a while. Often some tight squeezes around here. Alright, we can just stay here for the last one. Alright, beautiful. Alright, and I'm not going to the bottom left yet. So we're just going to take a trip back to the first room, clean this out a little bit. And it's a frozen iron key. Let's call it a frozen iron key. Trying to jump over this guy. We don't really want to fight that bozo yet. I'm gonna go up here, take care of these last snowflakes. And we're gonna get a level up from going up here. And that level up just gave us some attack. This is like the most important level up in the game. For the record, like, there's 5 levels total, and like, we're gonna stop at level 4. The levels barely matter. Yeah, here's the second Ice Elemental we're fighting. Now, the last one we did with 2 damage just a couple minutes ago. And this one, once I get a shot in, you will see. It's coming. So now we're doing 6 damage. So this entire fight just barely even matters now, after doing the first one. And now we're going to be doing 7 damage. If you do a little puzzle with a star key in the bottom right of room 1, you can get a shield. But that takes time, so I'm not doing it. That's kind of cute, though. See, all the ice elementals are just gonna crumble now. Alright, say goodbye to room 1. We're never coming back down here. As long as I do my routing correctly. Alright, now we get to go back to the bottom left. 2 more of these ice elementals back to back. It was nice knowing room 1. It served us well. We got some stuff going. Okay, I should make sure I can fight the gingerbread. Yeah, like every single battle music is just like a cave story cover. Which I mean, can't blame him. It's nice. I'd rather listen to Cave Story than, you know, Mariah Carey or whatever. It's not that time of the year yet. Alright. I think this might be the last ice elemental we're fighting. Alright, now we have to do this unfortunate battle. This is 1 damage gingerbread fast. It's a little bit on the unfortunate side of things. So we're trying to shoot these cookies. When you shoot them 3 times, they go into the boss and do a little tiny bit of damage. Alright, on to phase 2. Some RNG platforms. Okay, I got my lift. Just waiting to go up. A little bit more damage. Alright, now for final phase. Also, if there's one thing I learned over the years, is that a gingerbread man is delicious at any time of the year. I love gingerbread. The delicious flavor. Just a little bit more and we'll be through. Perfect. And now I need to jump immediately lest I go into another 1-attack gingerbread, which is not what I want. Now fighting this doesn't actually give me anything, but I do want the XP for later on, so we're gonna do it. So now we're doing 3-attack gingerbread, which is much better already. So this first phase is unchanged, but you'll see we kind of do enough damage now to completely skip past the second phase, which is the big RNG part of this encounter. And so the third phase is kind of gonna crumble too. Alright. I'm gonna go up here, do 1 more gingerbread fast with this amount of a attack. Also, this is a pretty small, like, magic dungeon-esque thing. You've already seen more than half of the encounters in the game. And from here, I think there's 3 more regular enemies and 2 bosses. This game goes really fast. Well, this stage, I suppose. Some bad shots there. Alright, we're getting this attack. And that's just enough attack to take us into the first boss-ish, or mini-boss. I'm gonna reset till I see the star. Yeah, okay, we'll say that's good. I want to see either the star or the lights in the box at the top. So here we have to put a whole bunch of little Christmas decorations, some ornaments onto the tree, including some nice lights. 2 of each, plus the lights, plus the star, and then we'll be done. Now, where was my orange? There it is. Just gotta be careful. Most of these aren't too bad, and then purple is bouncing, so it's kind of a disaster. Jesus. Okay, only 2 more to go. Red should be right up here. Okay, we have to make our way over to the star. I don't remember how much damage the tree does. I'm going to try not to get hit on the star. That'd be ideal. Oh yeah, this also lags my game a little bit because I'm on a laptop that I don't normally play Fangames on. And that's a lot of bullets on screen. Alright, so that was the tree. Now we get a whole bunch of stats. And before we move on, we're going to go over here, do one more gingerbread fast. The tree is iconic. I think that more people remember the tree from this stage than the actual final boss. The final boss is great too, but the tree is iconic. Alright, we'll be coming back to this room later, but only for that like top right section over there. We'll take care of this now because we can just take it for free. We have enough defense to ignore both of those encounters. We're gonna go say hi to we're gonna go do this bottom left section once more because that's how the cookie crumbles. There we go. I'm gonna say go say hi to the gnome, which I keep calling a gnome even though I'm trying really hard to remember that it's called elf, but in my brain this is just a gnome. So yeah, no easy way around it. We're just gonna be sitting here fighting this guy for a little while. We're only doing 2 damage to it. Oof, yeah, I'm not taking that. Any hit at this point is not good. Things do a lot of damage right now. That's true, I did call it gnome. That's probably why I'm calling it gnome, because it's gnome. I said it, so it's true. Yeah, this takes a while. Because it's constantly moving, it's really easy to just miss your shots, too. So I'm like kind of just jumping all over the place and trying to space out my shots to get a higher chance of hitting something. Just a little more. Keeps going up and down, up and down, up and down. There we go. And there's no restriction on the RNG on this guy. He can show up in the same place twice in a row. Alright, here's the last room. It's kind of a gigantic mess of enemies, as you can see. But we're gonna slowly, or rapidly, it's a speed run, quickly, slowly make our way through it. Right, by now the gingerbread, not a big deal. Still gotta go through it though. We're gonna get our last level up pretty soon, which I think gives us like 1 attack. It's still nice though. Maybe 1 more. That should give us a bunch of attack. That was a lot nicer than I thought. Alright, 1 more. We're going to clear our way to 1 path so I can get a key that I need. Right now my priority is to get into that top right section of the 3rd room. Alright. And now the gnome, already we're doing like 5 damage to the gnome now. Yeah, it's already a lot nicer. You see it happen a lot. You just like, we do 1 encounter with like not a whole lot of attack, and the next time we're there, we're doing a lot better. And the fight goes by much, much faster. I'll pick up a star key, immediately use it. My goal is that candy cane key over there. Yeah, from now on you're going to be seeing the same fights kind of over and over again until the end of the game. There we go, got my key. I'm out. At this point, like, up until the end of the run, we will not be getting enough defense to skip these gnome fights. We won't be getting enough defense to skip the next fight or the fight after that. So there's just no easy way around it. Like, we're doing every single fight that we run into now. Alright, Alright, here's our first angel fight. I do not like this fight at all. Especially if you get this attack. This attack sucks for damage. There's no easy way around it. It's just, it's a complete pain. This attack also can just kind of wall you sometimes, which obviously it's walls. Okay, that was my fault. This is a much better attack. You want to see this attack. Yeah, this fight takes a really... This fight takes a long time. Especially at the very first one, we're doing like barely any damage. The next phase is at 15 HP, I believe. So we have to hang on tight until we get there. Okay, nice. Good attacks there. Alright, so now we're in Angel 2. We need to wait for the Angel to clear out the area. And then we're gonna play a prank. We're not actually an angel. We're a big baddie. So now we're gonna try to get these to spawn close to each other, and by try I mean hope, because I don't control the spawn of these. And if they choose to spawn far away from one another, then that's just... it's really bad. Because bullets will just keep on spawning until the boss, well, the enemy goes down. Yeah, this is gonna be a tough ride to the other side. Alright, the first angel is down. Excellent. Alright, now... okay, I need a key, so I gotta go over here. So again, straight back into an angel fight. There's no more big progress from now on, we're making very, very little progress, a little bit at a time until we reach the end of the game. But already 3 damage angel makes this first bit go much faster. This overlap can be pretty nasty. Yeah, I figured as much. I could have probably taken that. 6 damage. It's not a life changer. I'm pretty sure if you do it perfectly, you get to take 3 hits on the final boss before you die. And that would be nice. Got past the overlap. Just gotta wait for the angel to clear this all out. This is completely random how long it takes. Sometimes it'll shoot the same one like 5 times in a row until it eventually breaks it. And sometimes it'll... the RNG will be nice and actually spread it out nicely. That was fantastic RNG. That's what I want to see every single time, please. Oh, that's great. I didn't realize that was coming until it was way too late. You've been known. That should do it. Okay, the key. We're gonna try to make our way up top. No on the way though. We're trying to get one of the last iron keys up top. Well, to open one of the last iron doors up top, rather. We're still looking for those free stats. Now I don't have an iron key. There is one right here. That's what I was thinking. I did the wrong. I was supposed to open the right door. That's my bad. It's probably still saleable though. I'm doing things in the wrong order a little bit, but I'll figure it out. And absolutely always have to like go back down to room 1 to get an extra key. Use that here. Right, I got the star key that I wanted. Okay, and now I have to use it up. Okay, yeah, I have to use it up here. So I can fight the last enemy now, Rudolph. Or, well, the reindeers, rather. But the reindeers are horrible with low damage. They're easily, absolutely the worst encounter in the game with low damage, so we're going to try to buff up as much as possible before we even attempt it. More Angel. The 5-attack Angel now is going to go a lot faster. Should be seeing only really 1 attack at the start now. Gotta make sure I don't accidentally exit the bounds. If I do, it's an instant death, no matter how much HP I have. All the way on the other side. Yep, that's the Angel. Oh. That's nice. You need to be careful with that one, though. It's close. Alright, I'm gonna save. I did forget to pick up this cane, though. Yeah, that was pretty bad. Alright, one more attack that I'm gonna go get up here. And I have to be careful now. After these encounters, I need to maneuver very carefully, like immediately as soon as the encounter's done. Otherwise, I will fall into a reindeer. Okay, that was lagging my game quite a bit. That was weird. Yeah, there's a lot of bullets on screen, and they all have like this flare effect on them, or like bloom effect on them. Yeah, this poor little laptop can't handle that. Alright, I'm gonna not even take this out, I'm just gonna go straight for the gnome. Risking it for the biscuit. Excellent. We got all the damage we could possibly get now. So our first reindeer fight is going to be this one. And now we have to fight, we basically have to do this fight like 7 times in a row. And then we can do the final boss. This is kind of like the disaster section of the run. Especially the first of these. I think this encounter is just... I do not like this encounter. The random squirrels that aim at you. The fact you can only get 3 shots in before you... That's gonna lag my game, yep. Alright, it's... No. I was trying to abuse that to get out. The very first of these sucks, because there's no way to get a quick kill at all. How old is this laptop? It's not good. I got this for cheap because I needed it. I'm probably returning it as soon as Fangame Marathon's done. Oh, wow. I actually got a quick kill. Okay, I've never actually done that. A quick kill before attack. Alright. Now we have 5 attack. You can do a quick kill a lot more easily with 5 attack. It's probably never happened before because I'm like the only person who's done this. Right, so we're hoping for the reindeer to kind of like come around on this height. Then we can just shoot it. That didn't happen. You gotta be careful about like... The reason I don't like this encounter is because there's just a bunch of random animals that just love to be in the way. Like the squirrel shooting acorns. There's freaking hedgehogs. There's random birds flying around. It's like, I've got enough to deal with. This reindeer is shooting a whole lot of bullets. Oh yeah, well, we just have to do a whole bunch of reindeers to get these chocolate keys. Starting at the top is better. I think it's more likely for the reindeer to hang out at do like the intermission pass near the top rather than the bottom. Okay, got it. Okay, yeah, 3. After we get 4, we can get an extra 2 attack, which skips the entire intermission phase. There we go, beautiful. You have a lot more space to get the quick kill if you're at the top. Alright, now we're gonna take a quick break, head on over here, open these. We do want as much attack as possible for the boss as well. Obviously, if we really, really, really wanted the most attack, we would go all the way to level max. But to go to level max, you have to beat every single enemy, and that's just... I ain't doing all that, you know? At some point, it's not faster. Yeah, now we're doing 7 damage to the reindeer, and they kind of go down. You can still say Drake. The intent comes across. We do, however, have a clap emote. Alright, there we go. And that was the last reindeer. Now we have all the keys. Take one more attack. Alright. It's Krampus time. This is the final boss. A little, you know, definitely not inspired by a little other famous boss from another game in the same genre. No, absolutely not. It does have a banger tune. $27 damage. Okay, I can still only take 2 hits. It was worth a shot. Okay, yeah, I will reset that. Once we get past the intro, we're probably in safe territory. Not this intro. The thing of the boss, once we make it to the iconic section, which people will instantly recognize, once we make it to that, then I think we're in safe territory. Once I really mess things up. This overlap here is pretty brutal sometimes. This can just be a mess. Okay, that was pretty good. 3, 4. Whoa, I wonder what this is a reference to. It's curious. Okay, that was a bad hit. That was a really bad hit, wow. Now that I've died to it, I can safely say you should never ever take a hit during that if you know what you're doing. That was a disaster. Wow. That's why the cops are on my ass now. Okay, Evans. So some of these overlaps at the start can just be truly horrible. It's okay to take a hit there. 3, 4. Alright, good jump. Dodge this, dodge that. We'll overlap in the center. Go this way because the wall said we have to go that way. Dodge the cookies. Don't get gnomed. Dodge some walls. Reindeer's over here. Alright, I'm going to be saying these out loud so I don't forget them. Left, middle, 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 left, 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 right. Right, right, left, left, middle, right, 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 middle, right, middle. Yeah, that gets harder. Right, middle, right, right, middle, left, left, right, middle, right. Middle, middle, left, middle, right, 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 left, middle, right, right, middle, right, left, left. And now enjoy this loop for the next forever as we have to do like 111 shots to this boss. This takes a little while with the amount of attack we have. It does feel appropriate. But there's no other easy damage in the game. Literally, the only other damage I could get is by doing every other encounter that I didn't do. To go all the way to max level. Time's coming up in a few seconds, I'm pretty sure. Alright, and time is going to be... now. And that's the LSS stage of Jingle Jam. There's a handful of highlights in this game, and that's definitely the biggest one. Thankfully, the latest version of the game, you can just choose to unlock all stages and try out the ones that seem interesting to you, so it's definitely worth checking out. And, you know, as with pretty much every single other I Want to Be the Guy fan game, it's free. Although I don't know about playing it in summer, but hey, that's up to whoever wants to do that, like me right now. Alright, that was my second and last run of Fangame Marathon. Thank you for watching. Thank you for continuing to watch Fangame Marathon. I will be drinking some more Red Bull and staying up and making sure everything runs smoothly. May lag on your cheap laptop. LSS, he puts a lot of bloom out there. Alright, Kraka, it's up to you.
Okay. Well, thank you for your run, Cosmo. It was really, really good. Especially love the 111 shots at the it's good stuff. Thank you everybody for your attendance. Up next we got Rocket League coming up with Tomato, Thundersurge, Blocko, Twiff, Gadriel, and we'll see you back in just a little bit.